I am a massive fan of The Simpsons. And since I'm a big fan of Funko Pops and The Simpsons, I figured I'd go all in on the Simpsons collection. And guys, today I'm gonna be showing you my entire complete Simpsons Funko Pop collection. So without any further ado, let's get started. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, let's start off with the original 4. So here are the original 4 out of box. These are ranging from anywhere from price from $450 to $700, with Bart being the most expensive at about $700. These figures came out in 2011, so these are by far the oldest Simpsons Pops and by far the most expensive ones as well. We're gonna start off with Homer, guys, and it looks awesome. I love all the little details, even though these are like from 2011. Homer's got his little donut. They've got his hair on point right there, as you can see on the sides, but a good old start with Homer. But next, guys, we have Marge, and obviously, you know, she looks like Marge. She's got her green dress on, she's got her shoes, and she's got her really tall hair. Next in the line, guys, we've got Bart, and honestly, he's looking like Bart 2T. I love how they actually did his hair. It's kind of interesting to see it in like a 3D mold, how they would do that, and that's, I guess that's how you would do it the best. But I mean, he's wearing, you know, his iconic Bart getup. He's also has a skateboard, which is a great detail. And then out of the original 4, guys, we have Krusty right here. Obviously, you know, it looks like Krusty with the T. I love how they kind of gave him a smile on this one to show off his goofy clown teeth. But overall, guys, you can't go wrong with the original 4.
Well, duh.
All right, up next, let's show off the kids that are in the show. So I think I'm gonna go left to right. From the very left, we have Lisa right here. The pop turned out great. I love that she's got her saxophone. That's probably one of the most iconic things that kind of goes with Lisa. And it kind of reminds me of that episode where she plays, I guess she kind of learns to play with Bleeding Gums Murphy, which makes me think that would make a really good pop of Bleeding Gums Murphy. We got the baby of the family right here, which is Maggie. Honestly, you know, she's looking great. She's got her pacifier, her light blue clothes on, and I think the pop looks great. This is another version of Bart, guys, but this is Bartman right here with his, you know, with his Bartman get up and everything like that. I think this is pretty much a play on Batman, if you will. I like how in this one, he's actually wearing his light blue shirt. Kind of gives an interesting callback to, you know, what he originally looked like. Right here, we got Bart's best friend, Milhouse, and honestly, I love the way that this turned out. Love that he's got the spilled ice cream cone on his shirt and also his foot right there. And one other detail that I think is cool with his glasses is he actually has the eyes behind them. Kind of interesting.
Interesting.
Low-key, one of the funniest characters in this entire show. We got Ralph Wiggum right here, and he's got his little jar of paste with, you know, the little paste wand right there, and he's got his iconic, you know, Ralph haircut. Dude, Ralph has so many one-liners in this show.
Sensation.
With the kids, let's finish it off with the bullies. So we got Nelson Muntz right here, and he's honestly doing his most iconic thing, which is, you guys know what it is. Next up, I would say this is probably the leader of the bullies. You guys will have to let me know if you disagree with me, but we got Jimbo Jones right here. He's got his iconic purple beanie. He also has, I like to almost say that that's like his Sid from Toy Story shirt with the skeleton on it. We got Dolph right here, guys, who has kind of like his cut off like jean shorts right there, and he's giving like a little rock on symbol. The rock on symbol definitely looks kind of weird when, you know, most of the Simpsons characters, or I guess all the Simpsons characters only have 4 fingers. And I would have to say probably the brute out of all the bullies. We got Kearney right here, and I love, you know, how he's cracking his knuckles. And, you know, I just love all the little details that they got on all the bullies and all of these pops for that matter. Definitely a good showing for the kids in the Simpsons Funko Pop collection.
Everything's coming up, Milhouse.
Moving right along, we have the adults from the show. Left to right, we're gonna start off with Duffman right here, or Duffman. How was that impression? Pretty good, right?
Meh.
It could have some improvement. But anyways, guys, Duffman, he's rocking his Duff hat, all the Duff get up. I love how he has the little detail of the Duff beer on his belt. Pretty sweet. Good old Mo Sizlak, the owner of, well, Mo's Tavern. I think it'd actually be pretty cool if he actually had a flaming Mo in one of his hands. Next up, guys, we have Radioactive Man right here. And every time that I like see this character or even see this pop, I just think of like, watch out, Radioactive Man.
Watch out, Radioactive Man!
I think this is probably one of my favorite Simpsons pops, and out of all the adults, I just love the whole sculpt on it. This is Otto Man. Obviously, he's the bus driver of all the kids, and you honestly never know what's going on in Otto's head. I mean, obviously right there, he's rocking to some jams, but you know, he could be on something a little bit else, I would have to say.
Found a way to use him as a bomb.
Probably one of the most clueless cops that you'll ever see. We have Chief Wiggum right here. He's got his iconic donut and coffee right there. And honestly, I will have to say he definitely is one of the more funny characters in the show, but probably not on purpose. Good old Barney Gumble. I think, you know, obviously he's got to have his beer in his hand because that's kind of what he spends a majority of his time doing. But I think a version of him that would be really cool to see would be the Plow King. We got Homer's neighbor over here, Ned Flanders. I love actually how he's putting up his left hand, because if you guys didn't know, he is left-handed. But yeah, I do definitely love Ned Flanders, and I think they did an awesome job on the pop. Comic Book Guy is up next. They did an excellent job on him as well. I love that he's putting the Bongo comic inside of the little sleeve protector right there. And I don't know what it is, but I think Comic Book Guy thinks that everything is the worst thing ever. Good old Grandpa, or Abe Simpson right here. He doesn't get a ton of screen time in the show, but you know, he is a part of the main family. Probably one of my favorite scenes from Grandpa Simpson would be when he's walking into, you know, the gentleman's club and he sees Bart and then he turns completely around. You got Mr. Burns right here, the owner of the power plant, and I would have to say probably a good majority of Springfield. He's got his hands together thinking of something evil to do, and honestly, I think this is a great Mr. Burns pop. Last but not least, we have Sideshow Bob right here, and they definitely did him justice. You can see with his crazy palm tree looking hair, and I think it's kind of funny that they actually put him in a jumpsuit, and he's got the iconic rake right there. Okay, next up, I really didn't have a category for this one, so these are just the next four. I mean, I guess besides Homer, you could consider this maybe like the made up like mascots or even cartoons within the show. But right here you have Homer sitting on the couch, which is a really cool, what I would call a pop moment that kind of, you know, is a little bit deluxe and has a cool set piece with it. And one thing that I actually like if you turn this around is you can actually see the created by Matt Groening thing right there on the TV. I don't know if that's wanting to focus on there, but that's a good callback to how each show begins. Right here we got Good Old Lard Lad, which is pretty much a play on Big Boy, if you guys know who Big Boy is. And I think it's probably one of the only 6-inch Simpsons pops. You don't really consider this a 6-inch, but definitely the biggest Simpsons pop that's out there. The most iconic cartoon show within the Simpsons universe, we have Itchy and also Scratchy. And I'm sure you guys are able to figure this out, that this is a play on Tom and Jerry. Each of them, you know, are holding different weapons. It kind of, you know, explains their whole zaniness and craziness and how they're always fighting each other. Next up, we have different variations of the main characters in the show. You know, I gotta give credit to Funko when they do fun variations like this. I definitely appreciate it. So we're gonna start off with Homer right here. He probably has the most variation out of all the Simpsons pops. But you got Mr. Plow right there. Definitely from a very iconic Simpsons episode, and I would say probably the most iconic jingle from The Simpsons. And I love how he even has Mr. Plow that's on the back of his jacket. Love the attention to detail.
Mr. Plow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
Also from a classic episode, guys, you have Homer in the Moo Moo. This is when he decides that he wants to work at home, so he gains a bunch of weight so he can be at the, you know, work from home program. I just love the fact that, you know, he's wearing that moo-moo. It's just so funny to me.
To start, press any key. Where's the any key?
Right here you got USA Homer, and I'm kind of blanking on which episode this is from. For some reason they made a version of Homer as a belly dancer. I want to say that this was actually from Treehouse of Horror, if I'm not mistaken. I couldn't really find why or what episode this was from, but I did find a screenshot from a Treehouse of Horror episode. Kind of the same thing, we have Gaming Bart right here. This is a GameStop exclusive. They probably just wanted to have a, you know, an exclusive pop from GameStop, and I guess it would make sense, you know, that Bart is playing some games for that exclusive pop. Another variant of Bart that we have over here is Gangster Bart, pretty solid one. I think this is probably one of my favorite variants of any of the characters that I have here on the table, but we have Stupid Sexy Flanders, and I think this pop definitely speaks for itself. But I gotta say, Funko, way to go on making this one.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Quit it!
And then we have two different variations, guys. We have Mr. Burns, which is glowing Mr. Burns. And it's funny because both of these actually glow in the dark. But this one right here is the Chase. This is the quote unquote common. Both of them actually glow pretty dang well. And I actually almost forgot that I do have another variation of Homer right here in the hedges. I guess we can take a closer look at him when we come back, you know, to this back setup at the end of the video. Next up, we have a line that is from an entire single episode. So this whole line of pops is from one episode called I Carambus, which is in season 32. I've seen the episode. It's actually pretty good. I'll be honest, I don't keep up as much with the current Simpsons, but I think the reason why they made this line is probably because, you know, maybe there's some new Simpsons fans out there. That would be my best guess. But we got Obesius right there, and we also have his different version, which is Young Obesius. That's an Amazon exclusive. We got Bartigula, which if you look behind him, I had one of my buddies on Instagram make me a common box. Notice that he actually made me on the skateboard right there. So big shout out to Grotto Customs. Thanks, Zach. You got Lysandra right there, Majora, and also Emperor Montius. So I don't know what opinions you guys have about these. These might be my least favorite Simpsons Funko Pops. They're not terrible by any means, but I don't know, maybe somebody else likes them more than I do. Finishing off the rest of the Simpsons Pops, guys, we have the Treehouse of Horror line. As you can tell, guys, there are two different waves. So we got wave 1 with the purple boxes and wave 2 of the common in the black and green boxes. So let's start off over here, guys. We have King Kong Homer. Classic, iconic Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episode. And I love that he's got, you know, Marge that's chilling right there in his hand. Cool thing about this, too, is that this is actually signed by the voice actor of Homer, Dan Castellaneta. Figured that was a cool detail to show you guys. Next up, we have Flyboy Bart, which is an awesome one too. I love the cool little details of him holding the sugar right there and that kind of clear translucent piece that's coming out of the fly's nose, or Flyboy Bart's nose. It's pretty cool. Funny enough, this is one of the only other Marge variants that are out there. There isn't any other ones of like the normal Pops, but we have Panther Marge right here. We have Alien Maggie, which is another great looking one. I love how she has different things in each of her tentacles. First devil variant out of all the Treehouse of Horror Pops, we have Devil Lisa. Good old Jack in the Box Homer. If I remember correctly, I think this is from a Treehouse of Horror episode. I think at the end of one where Bart actually turns him into, you know, the Jack in the Box. From a design standpoint, I think this might be one of my favorite Treehouse of Horror Pops. We have the Grim Reaper Homer. I love how he's kind of got the list going on right there. And one of his hands is actually different from the other. You know, he's got a skeleton hand right there. Looks great. Honestly, don't know what episode this is from, but we have Zombie Bart. He's on his skateboard. Overall, I think, you know, that this pop looks great. I love that, you know, we can actually see his skull coming out right there from the overall pop. I think the detail looks great. Right here we have Spaceman Bart, and I love how Maggie's kind of coming out of Bart's spacesuit right there. Kind of a good nod to like the movie Alien. Vampire Krusty, a pretty solid Treehouse of Horror Pop. Witch Marge, and I have to say this is probably in contention with probably one of the taller, you know, normal size Funko Pops because of that stand. And we also, speaking of devils, we also have Devil Flanders. He's looking great as well. And it's just kind of ironic that, you know, he was actually playing a devil character.
Now remember, the instant you finish it, I own your soul for...
And finally, we have the exclusives for the Treehouse of Horror line. Dang, I gotta say, Funko did a great job of making some cool variations and also some new characters for the exclusives. Right here we have the Raven Bart. Obviously, I want to say this is from one of the first Treehouse of Horror episodes, but it's a take on, you know, Edgar Allan Poe, and this pop turned out great. You got Werewolf Bart right here. I believe this was a New York Comic Con exclusive. Overall, the mold looks great. I love, you know, the detail of the fur on him. It looks awesome. I think probably one of my favorite Treehouse of Horror Pops right here, guys. We have Donut Head Homer, and I love the detail that part of his head is missing, and he has the piece right in his hands. Oh my goodness. This one at first glance may not look like an exclusive, but this actually does glow in the dark. So this is Jack in the Box Homer. I think this was a Funko Shop exclusive. But yeah, what makes it exclusive is it just glows in the dark. Both of these guys right here are New York Comic Con exclusives, but we have Vampire Mr. Burns. And honestly, I think Mr. Burns pulls off the vampire character very well. Evil Groundskeeper Willie, I love how he's kind of a play on Freddy Krueger, if you will. He's got the striped shirt on right there. And the rake is kind of almost simulating, you know, Freddy Krueger's claws. This one as well, kind of like the Jack in the Box Homer. At first sight, you're like, okay, what's so exclusive about this? Well, this is an Amazon exclusive and it glows in the dark. This actually is from the brand new line of Treehouse of Horror Pops. We have Itchy and also Scratchy. Itchy right there is holding a brain on a platter, which looks great. Scratchy right there, it's kind of got like the skeleton outfit, if you will, and also he's got his head that's floating. And if you're wondering where the rest of the line of this is, I actually have not been able to find it yet. It's been slowly kind of coming into stores, but I haven't seen it in my area yet. Probably the best Treehouse of Horror Pops that we have, guys. There is King and also Kodos. The detail on these pops is absolutely insane. I love that Kodos has the little blaster right there. I love the drool coming down from their mouths, the whole domes and everything. And you know, they have the iconic Funko eyes with the one eyes, and these do actually glow in the dark as well. So if you're going to do an exclusive, I don't know, I think this is probably the best way to do it. And back here, folks, I do have a couple of different Funko Simpsons items and also some stuff that isn't, you know, Simpsons Funko related. Like right here, guys, we have some Burger King toys from back in the day. I don't even remember how old these were, but somebody sent this to me in my P.O. box, and I figured they would make a great, you know, back display piece right here. So we got Bart, Lisa, Maggie, and also Homer. Right here, guys, this is one of the Funko sodas, actually, the only Funko soda of The Simpsons. So I think this one is actually the Chase right here with Homer with the donut. Obviously, this is a Funko product as well right here. So this was a New York Comic Con exclusive. It is the Zombie Bart skateboard deck. I thought this would make a great display piece, and when Funko had it available to buy, I knew I had to have it. These, believe it or not, are also actually Funko products, guys. So these are called blocks. These are things that Funko came out with in 2011. So this was the early pop days of when they actually came out with these. And we also have Krusty right here. So I figured this would be pretty cool. Some random Simpsons products they made back in the day. And then if you guys can tell, I also have the Simpsons Arcade 1-Up, which plays the original arcade Simpsons game and also the Simpsons Bowling. If you want to see a more in-depth video about that, let me know. We can do one later. And folks, just like that, that is every single Simpsons Funko Pop. Oh my goodness, that took a long time to unbox all of those. You guys will have to let me know in the comment section below if you own any of these Simpsons Funko Pops. When you take them all out of the box and when you start showing them all off, you're like, holy cow, there's a lot of them. But to be fair, there are definitely more characters from The Simpsons that they can make into Pops, because The Simpsons is one of those shows that has just like hundreds of, if not almost 1,000 different characters. I personally can think of a lot of different Simpsons characters that I would like to see as Pops. I mean, right off the top of my head, I'd love to see Poochie. That would make a great pop. Pooh, Bumblebee Man, maybe even like the Three-Eyed Fish. Let me know in the comment section below what Simpsons Pops you'd like to see next. But anyways, that's gonna do it, guys. Honestly, one of my favorite lines. And if I'm missing any Pops, which I don't believe I am, let me know in the comment section below, please, so I can complete my set. If you want to see more collection videos like this one here, guys, be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comment section below what collection I should do next. Be sure to subscribe as well so you don't miss out on that future video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys are awesome and the best. Like always, remember to be kind of one another. Always promote positivity. I will see you in the next video. Catch you guys later.